Okay, so you clicked on this video because you want to know what does it cost to live in Des Moines, and that's exactly what I'm going to give you in this video. In 2024, these are the numbers of what it would cost for specific items that you cannot order on Amazon in Des Moines. And I wanted to give you that list because I think that there's a lot of obviously worldwide purchasing right now, but the local stuff, the stuff that's specific to Des Moines, specific to your area, is really tough to grasp. How much is it going to cost to move to Des Moines? Is it going to be more or less? If you're getting a job transfer or if you're required to move here, that's a little different. That's more of a perspective. Hey, what is it going to cost me? How can I prepare for that? But if you're trying to find the lower cost of living area that fits you, fits your family, fits your lifestyle, this video is going to give you the cost of the different things that you're going to spend throughout the month, throughout the year, if you move to Des Moines compared to another city. Welcome back. My name is Darson Grantham. I am a local real estate agent and investor here in Des Moines, Iowa. And I put this channel together and these videos together because moving to Des Moines, relocating to Des Moines, it can be, well, let's just be honest, it can be very unknowing. You don't know what's going on. It's really tough to Google things that are going to impact your life. As a local real estate agent, when I help people move here, I realize there's a big need for people to better understand in a video format what exactly would look like to move to Des Moines. So on this channel, we kind of go through everything from cost of living to pros and cons to where the top employers are, to where the best schools are at and where they're located, to where the best sports activities are. So all of that I'm going to put on this channel. So if you like this information, if you want to hear more of it, subscribe so that you're notified when we do post new videos. We do them about weekly. Our goal, yes, I'm a real estate agent. I would love when you do move here to call me up and interview me as your real estate agent. I've helped dozens of people move here, but not everyone uses me as a real estate agent. So they are informative. They are not a sales pitch. So let's dig in. This one is the cost of living in Des Moines. Putting this video together, I wanted to make sure that there were not things in this list that were stuff that you could purchase on Amazon, or it would be just so canned at a Walmart or a superstore that, you know, whether it's Denver or it's Des Moines, doesn't really matter. The cost is going to be the cost. And that's how I see it is on stuff like Amazon. So in this video, we're trying to go very local specific of what does it cost to buy the things here that you maybe can't buy online. I also wanted to give a shout out to Rent Cafe and Bankrate, as I use some information from their articles and I'll post them in the description below if you want to dig in there. And they do a really good job. If you are looking to compare two different cities, you can compare the exact items in those two different cities. So if you're coming from one, moving to Des Moines, you can compare it really apples to apples. So I'm going to use kind of different pieces of both of those articles throughout this video. First, we're going to talk about groceries, transportation costs, healthcare and dental care. Restaurants, we're going to talk about miscellaneous items that just don't fall in any of those categories. And last but not least, we're talking about housing and utility costs, because quite frankly, if you look at your budget, I don't know if it's anything like my budget, a very heavy piece of that is housing costs. So we'll dig into that at the very end. So stick around if you want to know what the rent and purchasing power is in Des Moines compared to Denver, Colorado. I'm going to use Denver, Colorado, simply because it's a big city. It's a lot of people know about it. And I just feel like it's a really good comparison of, you know, that type of lifestyle to Des Moines. It's not the same, but we do have a lot of people moving here from the West, the coast, quite frankly, but Denver's one of them. So we'll dig into what Denver looks like. If you want to know a specific city, reach out to me. I can kind of do this for you. Okay, so let's get started. Groceries are first on our list. And we're going to talk about first the places that you're going to go to get groceries. And then we're going to talk about the cost. And this is obviously an average. There's going to be different ones that I agree or disagree with. So I'll pull up on the screen that list and we'll go from there. But grocery store chains that you're going to want to look into maybe if you're moving here. One regional one would be Hy-Vee. A regional one would be Fairway. And then we have the big stuff like Whole Foods. We got Costco. We have Sam's, Walmart, Target. And then Fresh Time would be one that's probably more regional. But Fresh Time, we where our family frequents the most. My wife does do most of the grocery shopping. But if there is a place where I have to go pick up an item or two, it's usually Fresh Time. I'm going to pick out just a couple here of different specific grocery items and the cost difference between Denver, Colorado and Des Moines. So I'm not going to list every single grocery item. I'm just going to go through the big ones that are big differences between Denver and Des Moines. First would be ground beef. Ground beef in Des Moines is about 16% more expensive than ground beef in Denver. Eggs are the next one that's kind of a pretty big discrepancy, and that's 15% lower in Des Moines. Eggs in Denver are $4.35, and in Des Moines, they're $3.68. Potatoes is the next one. It's 12% higher cost in Des Moines than it is in Denver. For a pound of potatoes, it costs $3.86 in Denver and $4.33 in Des Moines. Coffee is 13% less expensive in Des Moines than it is in Denver. But this is what cracked me up. The price for a coffee in Denver is $6.43. In Des Moines, it's $5.57. I'll be honest, I stopped drinking coffee a couple months ago. I used to drink a lot of coffee. And for me to pay for a $5 coffee, that would have had to have all the bells and whistles of a Starbucks coffee. So if that's what your idea of coffee is, fine, that's totally what it is. If you want to just go get a nice dark roast at a local coffee shop, you're looking at $2.30. So some discrepancy there in my opinion, but that is probably looking at the Starbucks cost of coffee. So that wraps up our groceries. Now we're gonna go over to the transportation cost. And I've talked a lot about transportation, about Des Moines comparable to other cities because the commute here is next to non-existent. Almost everybody has cars and very, very few people use mass transit. I would say the most relatable thing here would be the gasoline cost. And so in Denver, the gasoline cost is 14% higher than Des Moines. So when this report was taken, it's $3.86 for gasoline in Denver, and in Des Moines it's $3.31. And what we didn't put on here is car costs, and the reason is it's really tough to compare apples to apples. And so I couldn't find a good comparison of what a car in Denver costs versus a car in Des Moines. So I didn't want to put it on here to give you misleading information. Next on our list, we have the healthcare costs. So health and dental, obviously a big portion of a lot of people's expenses. So we'll kind of go through what those costs are. A doctor's visit in Des Moines is actually 14% higher than it is in Denver. You're looking at about $130 a visit for a doctor's in Des Moines. And a dentist visit is about 24% lower in Des Moines than it is in Denver. And that visit is about $95 for a general routine checkup. Next on the list is restaurants. And this one cracked me up because it was really tough to compare, like how good is this restaurant versus Denver, Des Moines versus Denver. So what I did is I pulled together one of West Des Moines, kind of a classier, nicer, but not high-end restaurant, and just give you an idea. An appetizer there, this place is called Cooper's Hawk. Good place, my wife and I frequent there quite a bit. The apps are $13 to $19, and your filet mignon is $45. And your chicken parmesan is $23. And of course, a bottle of wine is it goes from $28 and obviously goes up considerably from there, but you can get a low-end bottle of wine for $28 at Cooper's Hawk. What I then did is I looked at two restaurants that are in both Denver and in Des Moines. And so what we brought up is Fleming's, which is a high-end steakhouse if you're familiar. And those costs were actually, they're almost the same. $62 for a New York steak at Fleming's in Des Moines, and then Denver it was $65. So honestly, I would say there's no real difference there. And then Chick-fil-A, same thing. It was about a 6% more expensive in Denver than it is in Des Moines for a Chick-fil-A. I chose Chick-fil-A because our family goes out we have 4 boys, 6 and under. So going to restaurants is quite an entertaining experience, not relaxing at all when the kids are with us. So usually we go out, we're gonna go to like a Chick-fil-A. And again, that's 6% higher in Denver than it is in Des Moines. It's not a crazy dollar amount. So I would say if you're eating out restaurant-wise, you're looking at pretty similar cost structure. And before we get to housing, we're gonna go through kind of a miscellaneous list of items. And the reason I put these on here is because these all matter. These are things that we pay for day to day, but they don't really fall in one of the categories. I've never paid for one of these, but I'll tell you right now, haircuts can get pretty expensive. In Des Moines, they're 26% lower than they are in Denver. In Denver, a haircut is $26.62. In Des Moines, is $19. Now, the reason I say I've never paid for them, my mom actually grew up, like her career was cutting hair, so she still has a beauty salon where I get my, lovely hair done, and it looks so good. Typically, I'm wearing a hat. Today, I didn't wear one. I don't know why. But a beauty salon, same thing. It's 18% lower in Des Moines than it is in Denver. So that self-care, maybe a little bit more expensive in Denver. I say a little bit, 18 to 26% more expensive in Denver than it would be if you're moving to Des Moines. One that was way more expensive in Des Moines that cracks me up is a men's dress shirt is 25% more expensive in Des Moines than it is in Denver. A men's dress shirt is $39 in Des Moines. In Denver, it's only $31. So just interesting. The other big thing that's much cheaper in Des Moines than it is in Denver is if you're a moviegoer and you aren't a matinee person, it's 26% lower cost to go to movies in Des Moines than it is in Denver. In Des Moines, a movie's about $10.86. In Denver, it's $14.62. So percentage-wise, quite a bit. Not crazy, $4, but all this adds up depending on how much you go to the movie. Okay, now we're gonna get into the cost that actually really impacts your bottom line in your monthly budget. And that is housing costs. Whether you're renting or you're buying, there's a significant difference in housing throughout the country. And different cities have different pillars of this, right? Des Moines housing has always been relatively inexpensive compared to other parts of the country. It's actually the highest percentages of more in Denver than it is in Des Moines of all the other factors. We'll do apartments first. Apartment in Des Moines, it would be $787. Now, that's gonna depend a lot on what the size is and whatnot, and I'm gonna assume that this company, Bankrate, they did a good comparison of matching apples to apples. That same apartment in Denver would be $1,900. That is a 59% higher cost of living for renting in Denver than it is in Des Moines. Those of you that are renting in Denver or other big cities, Des Moines rates pretty reasonable. Now, I will tell you, $787 rental in Des Moines, that's on the very low end. You're not, it's not gonna have any bells and whistles, no frills and thrills. It is the bare minimum. And then we go on to the home price. It's where people build wealth. It's obviously, I'm very passionate about it being a real estate agent, to help people buy and sell. And when they are moving to the city of Des Moines or the metro, it's usually they're coming from a higher cost of living area. And in Denver, a comparable home would be $651,000, and in Des Moines, it's $368,000. It's a 44% lower cost of house, which results in lower cost of monthly payment in Des Moines than it is in Denver. If you want to know like what it would cost for you to live here if you made $100,000 in Denver, an equivalent of a Denver $100,000 job in Des Moines is $78,000. And I'll tell you right now, if you're a worker, you work hard, $78,000 in Des Moines is absolutely attainable, and there are a lot of careers that can get you that. And that just goes up from there. So just think about 22% lower cost of living overall if you are moving from Denver to Des Moines. And I could do this video on any city that you're moving from. So if you are interested in knowing what maybe another city would be to move here and what that cost of living is, let me know. We'll jump on a Zoom and we'll go through it together and just kind of talk through everything. I want to just encourage you, if you're looking at Des Moines, if you're looking at any other city, doing this cost of living analysis and paying attention to that and running in through your budget and knowing what your job is going to be when you move here, like that's very important. And I will say the job market, we really didn't get into that here. The job market is very strong. I don't know how to compare it to another city, but I will say our unemployment's below the national average. And if you are a skilled person, whether it's blue collar or white collar, and you're willing to work, like people want workers in Iowa. We don't want lazy people, to be completely candid. So if you're ready to work, or you're maybe even, you could be retiring and moving here for, just a slower pace of life. Like there's a lot of things to do and a lot of places to work and a low cost of living for that. So if you are looking to move here, please reach out to my team, Darson Grantham with Keller Williams. Information is below. Shoot us a text, shoot us an email, and we will sit down. We'll do a Zoom one-on-one, and we'll go over the stuff in this video of just what exactly is going on in Des Moines. Maybe, different neighborhoods, the cost of living, the pros and cons, what you might hate, why winter isn't as bad as you might hear about it being, especially this year, man. It's been warm, unseasonably warm. But if you are looking for a place to move and you're looking for someone to help you kind of navigate that, please reach out. I'm glad to help. Again, my name is Darson Grantham, local real estate agent here in Des Moines. If you like this video, click on this one right up here. It will get you to our next most popular video that Google says would be interesting to you. So listen to the Google.